Hey there, ADV riders. Headwind here again. It's been a while since I've done anything. Long story, but basically bunch of construction and a whole bunch of hours. In the meantime, this project has been on hold for a little while. Just got back on it here a couple weeks ago and started back onto what I was working on previously, which was fuel injecting a Super Enduro. This will be the second one I've done. And this one's a little bit different than the previous in that this is the standard 950 engine. But what I've done with this one is I put the tone wheel, the timing wheel on the other side from a 990, bolts right in. You gotta remove a bunch of stuff and change it out. But then this is a SMT or a SM990 harness, and it pretty much just drops right into the Super Enduro, with the one minor exception right here. Actually, there's two exceptions. There's this plug, which on a Super Enduro there's these two plugs, so I got to replug these. And then back here on the tail light assembly, there's these two plugs on the SM harness, and these plugs for the Super Enduro. So I got to replug one end of that. But very similar setup as far as the fuel pump and the filter. Similar location. I changed the way that I mounted this one. I'm not quite done. Still just trying to rough out where exactly it's going to go and how it's going to mount. I just finished making my auxiliary tank out of an old gas test tank. So I put some quick disconnects on it. This is the return line from the fuel pressure regulator that's over here on the other side. And then there's the suction side of the fuel pump. Again, using the CPC quick disconnects. This is actually power cell quick disconnect. I bought these CPC fittings right here that thread quarter pipe into this. So I just did a quick little test of the fuel pump, make sure everything is working there, and make the gurgly noises. That's cool. And pumping things. And if I turn the ignition on, I don't have the fuel pump on the harness plugged into that yet. So turn the ignition on, and gauge cluster cycles, and no flashing FI light, which is a good thing. And got a couple other things that I need to take care of, and it should be ready to fire. So I got to put coolant in it and put oil in it, and go through and double check for any fuel leaks. This is a 3.5 bar fuel pressure regulator from a VW or Audi turbo application. And then this fitting is from, was it 034 Motorsports. So it's basically a billet assembly that allows me to put that fuel pressure regulator in it. But basically, fuel flows through this fine filter that sits down in the V of the engine, sits on top of this heat shield. There's a tap that comes off right here, runs into the fuel pressure regulator, and whatever pressure is needed, past 51 psi, gets bled through this return line, which just so happens to run up over here and go back into my test tank. And on the power cell tank, the nice thing about these guys is right up underneath here is a tap point that's blocked typically, but you just drill the hole out, put the fitting in, and then we did a IMS fill cap, and then did the IMS vent assembly. So you just drill a hole through the side of the fuel tank, and then this keeps this cap nice and clean. You can set stuff on top of it like a tank bag or whatever, and then just the vent line. And then there's quick disconnects on the bottom side of each side of the tank. And then you got to bore the hole for the low pressure or the low fuel light sensor. I still got to mate that connector in. Modified the horn a little bit, since the stock Super Enduro pump's not going to go right here. I decided I was going to put the horn right here. There's enough room for that to happen. So that's pretty much it for right now. As soon as I get fluid in it and a few things buttoned up and all that other fun stuff ready to go, I'll shoot another video, and hopefully it's one where it's actually running. So enjoy. Talk to you guys later.